For nearly 30 years, I worked the 9 to 5 as a medical doctor, and I built a lot of equity in a house. A huge portfolio of shares, a bank full of savings, and a retirement account fit to burst. 30 years as a doctor, right? Well, no. And that's because my money management skills were almost zero. Actually, probably worse than zero. You see, I had a very particular set of skills I had acquired over a very long career, which made me a nightmare for people like financial advisors. I'd done it all, broken every rule and ignored every piece of advice I'd received. Spent more than I earned, bought houses just before a market crash, travelled a lot, and spent money on toys like camper vans and motorbikes, mostly to make up for a job that made me incredibly unhappy. And that retirement account? Well, I'd quit paying into that many years ago. At age 50, I had virtually no savings in the bank. Come to think about it, you should probably quit watching this video right now, as I'm the last person in the world you should be taking any sort of advice from. However, I managed to turn things around in a short period of time. 2 years to be exact, and I'm going to tell you the steps I took to do that. So let's get straight into it. Before I do, however, just a small disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, as you probably now gather. Don't take this as advanced financial advice. It's edutainment. I'm just explaining the steps I took to quit my job and turn around my financial situation. Okay, step 1. I started recording where I was financially. I read this book about 8 years ago by Vicki Robbins, which I've talked about before on this channel, and it talks about this exercise, which I did and then modified. I went out and bought some big sheets of graph paper and stuck it on my kitchen wall. It doesn't have to be your kitchen wall, as long as it's somewhere you see every day as a reminder of your mission. On the left, the y-axis, I put the amount I was earning in pounds from my job. This can be in any currency you earn. And on the bottom, or x-axis, the months of the year: January, February, March, and so on. Then I took 3 coloured pens, red, blue and green. Now each month I would plot my job income in blue and draw a line from month to month. It could also be every 2 weeks if that's how you get paid. In red, I would plot my total expenses over that same period of time. To track my expenses, I used an app on my iPhone called Spending Tracker. Every time I spent money, I would record it in the app. It's easy to record everything you spend and gives you the total at the end of each month. There are many apps that will do similar. You could even do the same in a notebook. I just find the phone easier, as I have it on me all the time and I can record as I spend. Now, with the green pen, and this gets a little bit more interesting, you add up your second income. This could be from your online business income you're starting to build, dividend income from shares, royalties from books, that's how I started, rental income, you get the idea. But what I also did was add to this potential income I could receive from any uninvested savings I had, and I would use a very conservative 4% rate. So for example, if I had $100,000 of savings, I would multiply this by 4, divide by 100 and divide by 12 to give me a monthly amount. This would then get added to any other income amount as mentioned above, and this would be plotted each month in green on the graph. The aim is to have the red line below the blue line and so make savings each month, and we want to see the green line slowly or quickly increasing each month. It's a great motivator. When the green line eventually goes over the red line, you are free. You can quit your job. It means your second source of income now covers your expenses. But how can we speed this up? Well, this starts with step 2. List your recurring expenses. I listed every single expense I had and took an honest look at them, and then put a line through every single one I could cancel straight away. Now you need to be ruthless about this. You're on a mission here, remember? No Netflix, Amazon Prime, cable subscriptions, magazine subscriptions, etc. Put a line through them, log on to those sites and cancel. Step 3. Record your monthly expenses. Where is your money actually going? Becoming financially independent is a bit like dieting. When I was a doctor, nearly every patient who wanted to lose weight would swear they weren't eating much or eating healthily. So I'd send them away with a food diary, and I'd say almost 100% they could not believe the amount they were eating and what they were eating. All of those snacks, quick bag of chips here and there, a candy bar, it would all quickly add up. And so it is with your finances. So use an app like the one I mentioned earlier, or notebook, and record every single outgoing and review every month. Ask yourself, where can I cut down? Could be those daily coffees, parking fees, payments on vehicles, even a mortgage payment. Remember, you're on a mission. This is not forever. What did I do? Well, I sold a camper van and a motorbike I owned. I sold my house, moved to rental accommodation, and then bought and moved onto a boat. Yes, I know that's a bit extreme, but not only was it a great lifestyle choice, but it reduced my monthly rental outgoings by about 2/3. I also cut out those subscriptions, as mentioned, like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Now, what about those debt repayments? If you don't touch them, it may take you a bit longer to get your second income to build and cover those debt repayments. If you can pay off some or all of those debts with the savings made from reducing your outgoings, then you may reach your goal quicker. What I did first of all was make sure I had 6 months of savings to cover my expenses, and then used savings each month to pay off my debts. Your red line of expenses will reduce as your debts get paid off. Now, what I've told you only covers one side of the equation, the outgoings or expenses, that red line on the graph. What we need to address next is the incomings or second income. This is going to contribute to that green line on the graph, and the plan is to get that green line higher than the red line as soon as possible. So we go on to step 4, and this is where your work comes in. Whilst doing the above steps, I also started work on my side income. I did it with publishing no content and low content books on Amazon. How you do it will depend on your preferences and skills, or willingness to learn new skills. I have a whole book tutorials playlist here on this channel that walks you through the whole process, and 2 videos in particular that will get you started. You could literally watch them today and get your first book published today. I'll leave a link to those 2 videos in the description below. Many have contacted me and said, within a couple of hours of watching, they've managed to publish their first book and get started on this path. From my graph, I reduced my expenses and worked out how many books I needed to sell a day to reach my goal. It was something like 40 a day, about $80 a day, bringing my monthly income to around $2,400 a month. I put that on a sticky note on the kitchen wall, again a great reminder and motivator. Other ways that I like of building a side income are those methods that rely on digital content. Niche blogs, take a look at the Income School YouTube channel for something like that. Merch on sites like Redbubble or Merch by Amazon. Creating an online course. Now that's a biggie. I like models where you build digital content. It's cheap to create and cheap to store online. Personally, I think a YouTube channel is one of the easiest and fastest ways to build an online income, and you don't even have to show your face. Publishing books allowed me to quit my job and then gave me the time and opportunity to work on this YouTube channel, which then saw my income rapidly increase, which then led on to me being able to not only quit my job, but become location independent and move to the other side of the world so you can visit places like this and pursue my love of sunshine. Now, we have step 5, which is probably the hardest, yet will make the biggest impact to your life, and congratulations for getting this far. And number 5 is commitment, and that's exactly what I did on the 1st of January 2020. At the end of 2019, I decided I had had enough of procrastinating, worrying what other people would think, and decided to pursue something I had always wanted to do and create a video a day and build a YouTube channel. This soon turned into 3 videos a week, which I maintained for around a year, then went to 1 video a week. What does commitment actually mean? It means sacrifice, and often sacrificing time that you would have spent on something else. Netflix, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, TV, that night out. And what this will give you is time. Time to pursue your mission. You need to take an honest look at where you're spending your time. You can find an hour here or there every day that you can use to work on your second income. I was working in a court taking medical evidence, and I would sit there, have my laptop open and be creating and uploading books. Even whilst my son was at tennis training or at tournaments, I would be doing the same. It was short-term sacrifice to meet those long-term goals. And that's what I mean by commitment. There's a saying that goes along the lines of, when was the best time to start an online business? 2 years ago. When was the second best time? Today, now. right this very moment. Finish the video, of course, but stop putting obstacles in your way. Stop trying to get all your ducks lined up in a row. A lot of people ask me before even starting, they ask me about taxes, registering a business, what brand name to use, should I then copyright all my work? It's all procrastination. There is no excuse to not start today. Register your KDP account and upload a simple book and commit to it. Get started. It took me 2 years from the day I decided to commit to this to achieve my goals. For you, it could be longer or it could be shorter. There are many factors that balance both sides of that equation of income and expenses and will depend on your individual circumstances. But if you do commit, you will get there. I used to hear those same words, if I can do it, anyone can. But you know what? It's true, and I'm in no way special. These 5 steps helped me and may help you. I sincerely hope so. That video I mentioned, getting started today in publishing notebooks on Amazon, it's right here and will walk you through the creation process step by step. Thank you very much for your time. It's very much appreciated. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, goodbye.